All right, okay. So over here you'll be able to hear me okay. All right. I'm Steve Schioppo, the writer-director of A Safe House, which is a narrative feature here at Macon. This is Ray Turturro. He's one of the actors in the film. A Safe House is a meditation on the kind of the myth of the American gangster. It's about a young guy in his early 20s whose father was murdered in the 80s, and he grew up with his uncle. And through the course of the film, he begins to suspect that his uncle was culpable in his father's murder.
I'm not cut out for being a father. I always known that. Then you came into my life, and I guess I tried to raise you the way I think your father would have raised you.
Your uncle was the last person to see your father alive.
So now, you come to me with this question. Was he a gangster?
The idea came to me probably about 10 or 11 years ago. Being in New York, I knew some guys they weren't gangsters because I was in high school, but they had, parents and uncles and stuff who were involved in that. And, you could just tell that it affected who they were in terms of how they saw themselves and how they dealt with people. And I just became interested in this idea of this kind of, sins of the father visiting upon the son, sort of social, certain sort of bigger concepts affecting the individual. And, I'm really having a good time here.
Tell us a little bit about your influences. Obviously, everyone says, "Oh, anything by Scorsese, the Coppola films, all of that."
If it's
what's it like? What's your style?
Well, with the Scorsese, I was definitely more influenced by Mean Streets than the later gangster movies. Which are good. I mean, Goodfellas is ridiculously entertaining, but then once you get to movies like The Departed, which really is more like a Raoul Walsh type of
remake. So there was that kind of, it wasn't a Scorsese original. So.
Yeah, well, it has a pulpiness to it that I feel Mean Streets doesn't have whatsoever. Mean Streets doesn't even really have a plot. It's just really about these guys, kind of, the ins and outs of their everyday life. And then, surprisingly, I didn't really think about The Godfather that much because that's really just too operatic and grandiose. And I love that movie, but I didn't want to go down that road because it's been, people have gone down that road a million times and never gotten anything as good as The Godfather. I'm a big Terrence Malick fan, so the film has kind of like a lyrical quality to it. Michael Mann.
You're excited about Tree of Life?
I'm pumped. I mean, I've been waiting for 4 years for Tree of Life. I just hope it comes out. Michael Mann, Antonioni. Growing up, I really loved this movie, Paris, Texas, by Wim Wenders, which has this incredible performance by Harry Dean Stanton. And, I think that people always talk to you about influences, and I always feel like it's, every filmmaker is kind of a accumulation of their influences. You see, maybe 10,000, 15,000 movies in your life, and, it's kind of through osmosis you come up with your own style and your own kind of ideas of what works or what doesn't. Sons of Anarchy is in town today.
Your nephew's going to be charged with 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. With the racial component, he's looking at 30 years.
You two are gonna have to get lost for a few days. I know a safe house out in Jersey. It's country land. Nobody's gonna bother you there.
So that's kind of how what the film is like. I guess it's kind of somewhere between an art film and a gangster film, and kind of tries to do both. And I think we were relatively successful in it.
How was your experience here at Macon so far?
I loved it. Of all the festivals I've been to, I think this is the one I like the most. It definitely has a unique charm to it. I think because it's in the South, and it's really well attended. It's really well run.
Let's talk about this fellow over here. You look like a gangster type. What role do you play in the movie?
I play the best friend, supposedly best friend, but you'll find that out at the end that we're not really as good of friends as we should.
You just destroyed the movie.
Don't spoil the ending, man.
Oh my gosh! What kind of actor are you?
No, but I play the best friend of the lead actor
until the end.
Until the end. So we get into some trouble.
This is why I have to write Ray's lines.
Exactly.
So have you guys worked together before on other projects?
No.
No.
How'd you guys hook up?
I had never made a short film. I had never made a feature. I never really had any film experience. I had written a play in 2004, and I decided that I was going to write a feature script. And I wrote it, and I was able to raise some money for it. I mean, it was before the disaster of 2008. So there was, you could kind of find money then. People were using their houses like ATMs, so it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. And then, I put an ad out on Mandy.com, which is a really good website for filmmakers. And we had probably about, the Ray's role, we had maybe about 10 people come in. And he was, what's funny is the way the role was conceived was very different than Ray. It was more of like the situation from the Jersey Shore type guy. And then sure enough, Ray comes walking in with his
You're looking like
hair.
a terrorist today.
He looks like that all the time.
Oh, okay.
But he comes in with his long hair and his this real interesting style. But he took this character that I thought was, he added this dimension to it, where he was also in this character that was sort of non-sympathetic, and on the page became incredibly sympathetic. He kind of did it. I always said he was like Ratso Rizzo from Midnight
Totally.
Cowboy. I don't know if you could see it.
You're kind of the anti-Dustin Hoffman. So, all right. So where are you going next? What do you got going on?
It was back in New York. We got a film festival in Queens. I think in April. Then we're gonna, we got a couple more things in the works. I'm back to writing again, and I hope to get it back that into production sometime the next year, hopefully.
And the Safe House is available for distribution still?
Yeah, but we're still trying to find a distributor. I mean, we've had some luck. We've had some bites. It's a dark film though. It's not something that I think that it's a dark film with no stars, so it's definitely hard to sell that. But overall, the thing that I've taken most from it is, coming to festivals like this and getting to watch it with so many different people and seeing how they respond to it. And in the end of the day, I always say that film it's not a competition. It's kind of like golf, where the only competition is really with yourself. You're trying to make the best movie that you can, and you kind of just got to kind of be upset. What interests me is the relationship between the filmmaker and the audience, like that dialogue that goes on, and you get that here at film festivals, which is why people come. So that's with the distribution. Of course, I want a distribution, but it's not something that I'm obsessing about. I don't expect Hollywood to be calling, and even if they did, I don't know if I'd really want to go with them.
I wonder if that's what life is like for normal people all the time.
I'm not gonna end up like that. I don't care who I have to hurt.
This is Steve Schioppo, writer-director of A Safe House, and you're watching the Film Fix.